Hey loves, and welcome back to my channel. It's Ijoma here, and in today's video I'm going to learn how to make this beautiful dress. Now we are starting with the pattern drafting. The video is long, so I don't like posting boring videos. Long videos are boring, so we'll do the pattern drafting first. And how the pattern drafting, we will do the sewing. Now mark your chest line 8, my bust point is 10, my half length is 16, and then my full length is 60. Like, I am marking the full length of this gown together. Now after doing that, I will label my lines. This is my chest line, my bust point, half length, and the full length of my gown. Now after labeling the full length, I'll take my normal body measurement. This is very easy, and I'm not even adding any data. I'm drafting just a normal cut together A-line dress. I'll mark my armhole, and for my neckline I am using 3 inches, and for my neck depth I want it to stop at my chest line, that is 8 inches or a bit lower than 8 inches. I don't want it to be too low because I want to wear this stitches. But if you want your own neckline to come down, you can bring it down to your bust points or under bust, but I want mine to stop at the chest line. Now after doing this, I'll take my normal bust measurement divided by 4, normal waist measurement divided by 4, and I will connect my waist to my bust. After doing that, I will mark my normal A-line shape from my waist, from my half length down to the full length. Just mark your normal A-line dress. We are going to use this A-line to cut out our flay later. It is not going to be A-line. Now after doing that, from your bust point, get your under bust. My bust point is 13, that is 3 inches below my bust point. That is my under bust. That is my under bust. Then I will come down by 1 inch from my under bust, and that is where the curve of this flay or the A-line will stop at. So from your neckline, you will connect it down to 1 inch below your under bust, so that it will sit very well below your under bust. Now I have gotten my top and I have gotten the A-line part. If you check this dress very well, it does not have a half length at the waist. The half length is right under the under bust. It is at the under bust. That is where the half length is at. So that is the shape our half length is going to have. I will cut off my shoulder slant, I will cut off my neckline, and I will cut the curve from my neckline depth to the half length. So now we have gotten the shape of the half length that dress has. If you check that dress very well, this is the curve the half cut has. Now I will use the front A-line to cut out the back A-line. That will be later. I will show you guys how to do that, so you don't have to draft another A-line. Now I'm trying to draft the back part. So the back part of this dress has a half length, and the half length started from the waist, but the half length of the front started from the under bust, while the half length of the back is at the waist, like at the waistline. Now after doing that, I'll get my chest line 8, our half length 16, and allowance. So I am not even adding any dart to this back because the dart is not really necessary. Though if you want to add that, you can add that, but it is not really necessary. Now after doing this, the next thing that I'm going to do is to mark my armhole. After marking my armhole, I'll take my bust measurement. You can see I added zipper allowance here. I added 2 inches for zipper allowance, but I'll still cut off the zipper allowance because I don't need it. Take your bust divided by 4, take your waist divided by 4, and connect. Then after connecting, I will label my chest line. Sorry, I didn't label that at my half length. Now after doing that, I will cut that out, and the neckline for the back will be 3 by 1.5. The width will be 3 inches so that it will match the front neckline. Then the depth of the neckline will be 1.5. So this is my zipper allowance, but the back of this gown is open, so we will not need this zipper allowance. I'm marking my neckline 3 by 1.5, and after doing that, I will connect it. After connecting, I will mark 1 inch for my shoulder slant. Then after doing that, I will cut out my neckline, my shoulder slant, and my zipper allowance. I told you guys that I will not need this zipper allowance, right? So after marking all that, I'm taking out my neckline, the shoulder slant, And then this zipper allowance will not be there. I will have to cut off the zipper allowance because the back of the dress is open, right? Now, after doing that, from your neckline, you will come down by 2 inches for button allowance. You button it at the back. Then from there, you will curve it according to how wide you want it to be open at the back. So that one is too wide. I'm reducing it a bit. You will curve it according to how wide you want the back to be. So this is how wide I want my opening at the back to be. It is up to you. If you want it to be wider than this, you can go ahead and do that. If you want it to be closed, you can do that. If you want to add zip also, you can even add zip to your back. Now, this is my fabric, and I will cut out my flay parts, like the flay part of this dress. After cutting out the flay part, I will cut out the upper part, the sleeve and the rest. I don't want the flay to have any joining. That's why I'm cutting it out first. So I'm folding a triangular flay for the front. So I folded from here, and I noticed that it did not reach the full length that I want. I had to refold it another way so that it will match the full length that I want. Like, I don't want it to have any joining anywhere. So I placed my paper on it, and I realized that it may have a joining, and I'm trying to avoid that join. I don't need it. So what I'm going to do is that I will have to refold this fabric in a way that the A-line will not have any joining. So this is how I folded it. And as you are folding, don't fold too much so that your flay will not be too big. The flay of that dress is not too big. So the way I folded it right now is okay. After placing my paper on this, it will not have any joining. So now, after folding, I'll place my center, my front paper on it. And if I place this front, the center front will be on the folded part of this flay, or the A-line. It looks like an A-line, right? But no, this is a triangular flay, and I don't want my flay to be too much, so that these 4 yards that I'm using will be enough for me. I'm using 4 yards, but if you want, you can buy 4.5 or 5, depending on the size of the person you are sewing for. Now, after placing my paper, I will start cutting out. I'll add 1/2 inch round this pattern paper. I'll add 1/2 inch round it. So when you get to the side, just connect it to wherever your flay fold stopped at. The flay you folded stopped at. It should not be equal with this paper. It should be somehow bigger than the paper. If you want, you can do slash and spread, but I don't want to do slash and spread. So I'm adding extra length to my full length. I'm trying to add extra length to my full length because I want it to be long enough. Now, after doing this, I will cut out the side. You can see that my flay is somehow bigger than my A-line, right? That is how I want it to be. Then after that, you will curve your side a bit so that the flay will not be longer at the side. Now, this is what I have. This is the front. And if I open it up, you can see what I have there. And it is looking fine. Now, I will cut off from the normal half length of this gown, and this is the one I will use for the back. You know, the back half length started from the normal half length, right? So that's why I had to cut off the other part so that I can use the same paper for my back. Now I'll fold another triangular flay, and I will place my back on it. So if I place my paper on it, I will add zipper allowance. It will have zipper allowance this time around because we are fixing a zipper at the back of this dress. You understand? So now you can see the way I folded my triangular flay again, and I'm making sure that all the sides are normal. After getting that, I will cut out the full length, and I'll cut out the side. After cutting out the side, I'll also open the area that will be my zipper allowance. But before I do that, I want to place the front on it so that I'll be sure that the both of them will meet at the half length. I'll make sure that the both of them will meet at the half length, that none of them will be longer. That's what I'm trying to check, and they are okay. So I'll just go ahead and open my zipper allowance. So if you open the parts that will be your zipper allowance, remember to mark where your zipper allowance is at. It is very important. Remember to mark where your zipper allowance you stop at. Now our back is ready. I'll go ahead and cut out the sleeve. At this point, I'm already managing my fabric. So if you are buying your fabric, buy 4.5 so that you will not run short of fabric. I'll cut out my exaggerated sleeve. This sleeve is an exaggerated sleeve. We will add an elastic to it, right? So I'll cut out my exaggerated sleeve. After cutting it out, I'll open it and I will divide it into two, because I folded it twice so that I can cut out my right and my left sleeve. So after opening it, you will divide it into two. After dividing it into two, now you have two sleeve, and the length should be at least 15 inches, please. Now back to the upper part of the front, the bustier part. I will mark like 3 lines and I will do a little slash and spread, just a little slash and spread. Now this is the fabric that I'll be using for the slash and spread. After placing my fabric, I will now slash and spread. You will not slash through the shoulder. No, you don't have to slash through the shoulder. Just open it a bit. You can see my spreading. My spreading is not too much. Then as you are cutting, add 1/2 inch, round it, and then cut off. Also cut off your neckline. So the neckline of this will have a facing. Don't use bias. Facing is neater. Now I cut out one side because I'm already managing my fabric. I will use that one side to cut out the second one. If you want, you can add a side dart to this. You can add a side dart to it. When we are sewing, I may add a side dart to this. Okay, now the next thing that I'm going to do is to gather it a bit. You can see the shape is giving me already. Now I'll go ahead and cut out my facing. The front will have a facing so that it will look very neat. After cutting out this facing, I will cut out my back, and my back will also have a facing. Yes, your back will have a facing because you will fix your belt first of all before turning the back with the facing. So this is the fabric that I want to use for the back. I'm checking if it will be okay, and I think it's okay. So after cutting this one, I will cut out another one, and the facing for the back will be equal with the main fabric, like the armhole, everything. They will be equal so that it will not be too hard for you to sew. After cutting this out, you can see I'm adding 1/2 inch round it. After cutting out, I'll fold out another fabric and I'll use it for facing. So this is what the back looks like. This is the back, and it is fine. Now I'll cut out the facing for the back, and I said that the facing and the main fabric will be equal. After cutting out the facing for the back, I will also cut out my belt. If you check very well, this dress has a belt at the back, and this is where we are going to be stopping for this tutorial, because if I should add the sewing, I may not explain, I may not have the time to explain very well. So that's why I divided it into part 1 and part 2. So now just go ahead and cut out my belt. The belt is up to you. It depends on how wide and how long you want it to be. So do not forget to subscribe and click on the notification bell. Notification is very important so that anytime I upload the sewing video, you will be notified. If you want to register for our online classes, I will drop my WhatsApp number in the comment section so that you can register for our online classes. We have over 10 courses that we teach online, detailed online class. So thank you all for watching, and please do not forget to subscribe. It is your favorite tutor, Sew with Ijoma. See you all in my next video. Bye.